Good morning, everybody. It's time for Sunday School again, and we're starting a new topic this week. So, for the next 4 weeks of Sunday School, we're going to be looking at various women from the Bible and what their stories are. So, our first woman we're going to be looking at is going to be Esther. Esther has her own book in the Old Testament. It comes after Nehemiah and before Job. She didn't have a mum or dad and was raised by a man called Mordecai. Before we hear her story, I have a question for you. Have you ever been frightened? I'm sure we've all been frightened sometime in our lives, for whatever reason it might have been. Well, we're going to listen to Esther's story now, and you can see how she had courage, even though she was very, very afraid.
There once was a woman named Esther, who was a queen in a far-off land called Persia. But Esther was Jewish, and God had a plan for her life in this land. Queen Esther heard of a terrible plan that an evil man named Haman had formed against her people. But Queen Esther was very brave, and she risked her own life for her people when she realized what was at stake. Esther chose to speak up for what she believed in, and even though she was very scared, she went to meet the king while he was with Haman and said, "If I have found favor with the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my request, I ask that my life and the lives of my people be spared." The king was shocked that someone would try to hurt his queen, and he said, "Who would do such a thing to you?" Queen Esther said, "The wicked Haman is our enemy." Haman grew pale with fright, for his plot had been discovered. The king jumped to his feet in anger, and Haman was sent to be executed. The king sent a decree across the land, and the Jewish people rose up to defeat anyone who tried to harm them. Wherever the king's decree was read, the Jews rejoiced and had a great celebration. To this day, the Jews celebrate this holiday of Purim every year, remembering the bravery of Queen Esther and the power of God.
Wow! Esther's a great example for everyone standing up for what she thought was right. Can you think of why this might be? Well, Esther showed lots of courage by doing what she did. She had a choice to do the right thing for her people and her God, or taking the easy option and not doing anything. I wonder what you would have done. Maybe you can talk about this in your house with an adult. The story of Esther showcases one of the attempts to change the outcome of God's unfolding story, and Esther was part of God's plan. Her beauty was certainly an asset, but her greatest strength was her inner spirit, clearly trusting and relying on God. She put aside her personal safety and allowed him to work through her. God's justice prevailed, and the story ended in victory, praise and thanksgiving. Since time began, God has used people in his plan to tell his story. Just as God had a plan for Esther, he has a plan for each and every one of you. I've put a craft in the link below that will help you remember when Esther became queen and to have courage just like she did. Or you could make your own crown as a reminder as well. But I want you to remember to be strong and brave, and that God will be with you wherever you go. And that verse can be found in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. This is the craft that I've put down there. Hopefully you can have a bit of fun making that, and you can find the link below in our Facebook or on our website. Let's just pray. Father, help us to be more like Queen Esther, to stand up for what is right even when it's hard. Help us to remember that we can come to you and ask you for your help when we are in a difficult situation. Help us to trust you to work everything out for the good. Amen. Well, that's the end of Sunday School today. So go away and think about how you can be courageous during the next week. And we'll see you again next Sunday. Have a good week, everybody. Bye for now.